Greetings from central Louisiana, just a few miles west of Dry Prong. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my latest acquisitions. And as we pan, we have a big tote box here full of miscellaneous parts. Some are Allis Chalmers, some are John Deere L, which is what we are going to be talking about today, the two different tractors I have acquired. So I haven't totally inventoried these parts, but I see there's a lot of good stuff in here and the stuff I need to look into getting for what's missing. So let us move onward. Over the weekend, I have acquired two additional projects, two additional tractors with potential. The first here on the edge here is a John Deere L. And the biggest thing we see missing at this point in time is the radiator's not on it, but the radiator I did get. Now we need to secure, the porch here and tarp it over so I don't get any more water than what's already been into it. This head is loose. And if you look inside, I had filled both those chambers with PB Blaster when I brought it in, and it seems to front cylinder has drained out. So that is good in my mind. Hopefully we will have good luck in getting it unseized. I haven't yet tried to drain the fluids out of it. I don't know if it has any residual fluids or not. The drive shaft is up here in the box. This plate right here is plated over where you would have had a PTO belt pulley, which I don't know will ever be put in here. In fact, this is a block of wood that somebody put on there at one point in time. Linkages is missing. I do have the drive link here, drag link, but I'm missing the steering sector here and the shaft and the steering wheel. I do have the seat, and I do have, looks like the one that came off of the seat support, but I say it's going to take a little while. My son was worried about this field plug being out. I know I'm definitely going to have to drain this rear end to make sure it's still good. I found it interesting that they run out of nuts and they put a die right here. Or somebody was contemplating refreshing those threads and forgot what they were doing. The rear wheel here is on crooked, mainly because the lug nuts are not cinched up tight. The rear wheels look usable. I should be able to continue using those. I went to looking for the serial number and it is missing. The tag would have been right here, but it is missing, so we'll continue our walk around here. This is an old military tire here, unidirectional. All in all, it's got some pretty good bones to it, but as normal on most of these little old tractors I look at, the front tires are shot. Here the intake exhaust manifold is going to need to have some work done to it. I'm not sure if this is weld or JB weld. It looks a lot like JB weld, which won't be good on the exhaust because about 700 degrees JB weld stops holding on and melts. Governor linkage is missing and all, there's several things missing here. I do have the hood, the curved hood, and the radiator and the grilling work all the way down to the base flashing, but I don't have the little rounded piece that goes under the bottom here. So this is the John Deere L. I don't know what year it is. I know they were made in the wartime years and during World War II. It's just a little small tractor, which is where I'm focusing today. I got a good used tire here, I'll sell you. Of course, if you see this video and you think it's worth watching, you think it's worth subsidizing, I'll take any contributions I get towards refurbishing this one. It's going to take a lot of refurbishing, but it is here. Okay, now for contestant number 2. This is an Allis Chalmers G, or what's left of an Allis Chalmers G. I aired up the tires, and believe it or not, they're semi-holding air. They're not going down immediately, which helps. It did have a headlight to it. You know, it's got this traditional chomped out segment steering wheel, which can be reconstructed with some JB Weld and some Flex Seal. It too is missing a lot of things. I do have the seat for it. It's up there in the shed where I brought it in. The tires themselves, I'm hoping to make sure I can salvage these 2 rear tires, because those things are super expensive. It does have a small 4-cylinder engine, and as Chris told me, he said it was free. Of course, he's got a stronger grip than I do, but would be good if that one's not seized. Of course, it's going to need to have the penetrating oil put in there just to make sure it doesn't get seized. Has a alternator, has a key switch, which is still here and still semi-operable. And there's a starter, which may or may not be worth saving, looking at this area here on the back side where the brushes are at. But this is another candidate to be tarped. Amp meter may still work. It was a 6-volt system, as evidenced by this resistor. See, resistor right here. They were on 6-volt systems. It's got a heavy-duty oil fluid coil. No indication of the voltage, but I'm pretty sure it's a 6-volt. So, and it too has some Rube Goldberg parts about it. Again, like I say, these rear tires are cracked, but I'm in hopes I can at least use them for a while. I'll probably end up jacking it up on blocks to help try to prevent any further damage to them. Got your gear shift, your brakes, independent left and right brakes, your throttle control, your clutch. It's worth working on, as Chris says. He said he figured this would be the better one to start with. I seen some guy on Facebook trying to get $600 for just this front weight. I'm sitting there going, whoa. I said, I could part you out and make more money than what I spent, but that's not what I want to do. I want to have this tractor up and running. Just noticed something that I didn't comment on. This right rear wheel tire is on backwards. It's on backwards here. Of course, it can be reversed based upon how it hooks in here on the hub, but it's on backwards. The left rear is correct. This one again is also a candidate to have all the fluids drained to make sure it's out of it. The gentleman I got it from said that he had bought some hit and miss engines, and the lady he bought them from told him point blank, says these 2 tractors have to go with it, both the John Deere and this Allis Chalmers. He had no interest in the tractors, so he sold them to me, and hopefully I can do something with them. But again, as I mentioned briefly on the John Deere L, if anybody out there is willing to fund me here, I will take any contributions I can get, because hunting parts is part of the fun, but paying for them is not. But you folks have a great day.